marvellous, what we like to call Carousel crowd. I'm sure you're going to give them all your love and support. Is that right? Of course it is. Will you please raise the roof? Welcome first acting in that fire. Please welcome James and Louis.
So, I'm Jamie St. Louis. I'm from the States, in case you were wondering. Here goes. So, I kind of like older women. Yeah. I date Judi Dench, but I'm afraid, she might be a little too old. I might have to carbon date her. Yeah. Yeah. Older women are nice, but, if their vaginas are in Technicolor, it's a no-go. Yeah. I got this new bank card in the mail the other day, right? And on the bottom it says, this bank card is carbon neutral. Well, who gives a fuck? How is this important? What, are you going to go out on a first date with someone and say, that date was great, but before we move forward, there's some shit I have to ask you. Is your bank card carbon neutral? Because if it isn't, we can't go past here. We just can't. So, speaking of dates, I took one date to the beach after dinner, and we were driving down the strip, and I pointed out the nightclub I was conceived in. And for some strange reason, there was no second date. Strange, crazy reason. That, and there was this other time when I brought up the homicide rate on the property that I live in. Again, no second date. You wonder why you're single at 40. You wonder. So, what? Huh? What? Oh, I get it. English. I didn't hear it, but I'm moving forward. So, there was this one date, right? And after the date, we came home, and she's like, there's something I have to tell you. And I'm like, what? She's like, you can't get in my pants. And I'm like, well, we're different sizes, honey. Come on, obviously not. What was she thinking? Don't mind me. I wrote on my arm because, I'm so forgetful, but I'm loving the tattooed look, but I can't read my own writing. And that wasn't part of the joke. It was just like, what the hell? Aha! So, this other date, right? I come home and my dad's like, so, do you know her biblically? I'm like, she's an atheist, Dad. Yeah. So I went to the A&E. I was having heart palpitations, and they're like, do you have issues with depression, thoughts of suicide? I learned don't answer, at least not honestly. You know why? Because when I got my lunch, there were no utensils. No utensils. And they're like, so, do you have a plan? Yeah, I plan on having fucking lunch until you went and fucked that up. You wonder why these people are so depressed. There's no utensils with their lunch. Again, I have to look. The other suicide joke. So, I was filling out these forms. I love how the spontaneous can be the joke, I was filling out these forms for medical stuff, because in the States you gotta fill out a lot of forms for medical stuff. I bet it's the same way here. And it said, so do you have thoughts of depression? And if so, how often? 5 or 6 times a week. I take Sundays off. What is this? Yeah, what is this, a friggin' competition? Am I gonna win something? Again, I gotta look. Oh, this is a good one. So, let's pretend this really happened, because it didn't, because I don't actually have a second date, so this couldn't happen, but let's pretend I have a wife and she's about to give birth. I'm in there, I'm all nervous, I'm thinking, I've put together IKEA shit, I can do this. As if owning one of those freaking Allen keys makes you a dad. It's a phallic reference. Okay, so again, I have to look. Here's one called Gender Vegetation Design. So I was talking to this one lady, and she's like, so what do you do? And I'm like, I'm a designer. And the truth came out, okay, I'm in design school. So you're not really a designer, are you? Right? And she's like, And I'm like, oh yeah, that's kind of harsh. What, I can't have an identity for the next 6 years? I can imagine the conversations you must have with your kids. You sound like a harsh parent. She's at the dinner table going, I'm not telling you your gender until you eat your vegetables. That's it. Harsh parent, harsh parent. Oh, the Oxford Dictionary. I got a brief job working for them, and they're like, we want you to come up with the definition for metrosexual. So I fudged it. It's people who have sex on public transportation. Yeah. And last but not least, Katie Price and her plastic surgery, right? Like, is her face coded for recycling? I mean, maybe she's banned from the state of California. Because, you know. Anyway, I appreciated the evening. I hope you guys did too. Pardon my memory loss, man. Just like, you know. Have a good evening, everyone.